Welcome to a world where whispers of power and ancient secrets linger, where King Solomon once held dominion over forces beyond comprehension, and the shadows watched, always waiting. Step inside the story, witness the truth hidden for centuries. They don't tell this story in holy places. They whisper it where the walls are thick and the lights are low. Solomon wasn't just a king, he was a lock, chosen to restrain what waits behind the veil. Winds obeyed him, creatures understood him, and the unseen bowed, not to Solomon, but to the authority placed upon him. That authority was sealed. Most stories lie to you and say there was one ring. The older whispers tell a darker truth. There were seven rings, 7 bindings, 7 restraints holding reality together. Each ring governed a law: judgment, mercy, command, obedience, wisdom, restraint, and silence. Together they kept balance. Separate them, and balance collapsed. One night, when the palace slept and the air felt wrong, something watched Solomon from the shadows, a deceiver older than thrones. The moment Solomon removed the ring, it moved. A demon stepped into his likeness. Same face, same voice, same authority. By sunrise, Solomon was erased. The throne answered another. The guards bowed to a lie. And the real king stood invisible among his own people. Solomon wandered hungry and forgotten, watching a demon rule with his face, twisting wisdom into fear. Then, by the sea, a fisherman pulled a fish from the water. Inside it, metal, a ring. When Solomon placed it back on his finger, the world reacted violently. Winds screamed, the unseen fell, the lie fled. The king returned not in triumph, but in terror of what nearly escaped. This is where the story becomes dangerous. We are breaking seals every day, removing restraint and calling it freedom, opening doors without asking what waits behind them. Power doesn't vanish when seals are broken. It transfers. Most people believe Solomon's power ended with his reign, that when the throne fell silent, so did the authority. But there are whispers not taught, not preached, that Solomon left behind writings never meant for the public eye. Not scriptures, not prayers. Instructions, books that were hidden, copied in fragments, rewritten in shadows. Texts said to contain seals, names, and commands not for worship, but for control. And the reason they were buried was simple. Some knowledge doesn't free you, it binds you. The forbidden writings don't speak in stories. They speak in structures, circles, marks, names that were never meant for the human tongue. They claim that authority over the unseen doesn't come from strength, but from precision. One mistake, one symbol drawn wrong, one name spoken without restraint, and the thing you try to command doesn't obey. It remembers you, because every act of command is an agreement, and agreements always demand something in return. The legends say Solomon didn't just rule nations, he enforced order where chaos once moved freely. Entities were restrained, forces were confined, the unseen was kept in its place. But restraint is fragile. The moment power is used without humility, the moment control becomes entitlement, the balance fractures. And when boundaries weaken, what was once bound doesn't escape violently. It seeps back in quietly. Every step he took, every word he wrote, shaped a balance between the seen and the unseen. Forces beyond our understanding stir in silence, watching the world for the slightest weakness. History remembers only what survives, but the shadows remember everything. That's the story they passed down. A ring stolen, a throne taken, a king forgotten. But ancient stories hide truth in shadow. A ring was never just metal. It was a seal, a binding, a mark that the unseen recognized. When it was lost, chaos entered quietly, not explosions, not collapse, subtle disorder. Voices that shouldn't speak began speaking. Forces that should have obeyed hesitated because authority had shifted. And when it returned, it wasn't dramatic, it was heavy. The Qur'an tells us what is certain. The wind moved by his command. The jinn labored under him. Some were restrained in chains. That kind of obedience does not come from jewelry. It comes from alignment with something higher. So when deception ended, the unseen felt it first. Builders resumed without question. Divers descended into the Black Sea. Rebellion went silent. Order doesn't shout, it settles. Maybe the ring was literal. Maybe it was symbol. But here is what remains true. Before you control the unseen, you must conquer what whispers inside you. Because when the seal breaks within a man, everything around him follows. And when it is restored, the world remembers who commands it. To those who believe knowledge equals dominance, and every generation produces someone who thinks this time will be different. The ancient fear was jinn crossing into our world. The modern danger is humans rebuilding their systems. Voices without bodies, decisions without faces, power without restraint. The jinn don't need rings anymore. Through suggestion, through systems that reward control and punish conscience, the question is no longer whether the seals are breaking. It's whether anyone remembers why they existed. And long after the wind fell silent and the builders turned to dust, his words remained. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. A king who commanded the unseen, reduced it all to a warning, not about power, not about kingdoms, but about what lasts. Because in the end, the wind obeyed him. The jinn feared him. Nations knew his name, but wisdom was the only thing he asked to keep. And that is the seal that was never lost. If this story moved you, don't stop here. I created the meditation videos and the books for children and adults to help us build real self-mastery and enjoy all the good God has placed before us, because everything begins in the mind. Strengthen that and your world follows. You're here for a reason. Take the next step. Thank you